The first release we had was... Hello, you fucks. Welcome to John Solo's Beard Brigade. I'm John Solo, and with me is little Alyssa Gramling, fresh out of the hospital. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to be home.
I bet. I'm curious. So the hospital beds, right? They go up and down, and you can control them and all that good stuff.
Good God.
Did they give you a double for your dad and you, or?
No, my God, no. He's not in the hospital with me. Good Lord, John.
Well, I don't know how this... I know you like sleeping with your...
No.
Anyways.
No, that is not a thing. That's never been a thing.
I know. Eerily enough, though, you're really into the daddy books. I don't get it. And I'm told that dad and daddy are two very different concepts and things. And one of our...
Yeah, there's daddy kink and then there's incest.
Right. Those are two different things, apparently. I'm learning. I'm not...
The incest one, not so much.
Right. Apparently, daddy in Swedish is a completely different word, too. I didn't know that until our friend Lotta told me. I didn't know. It's a very different thing. Anyways, we have a full show today. We had a bunch of new releases and all that good stuff. I noticed that you did not listen to anything while in the hospital. Is that true?
That's true.
What in the hell did you do?
Slept. Tried to, at least. Except when they kept waking me up going, we need to take your vitals.
Right.
We need to give you a breathing treatment.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
We need to poke you.
Yeah.
My fingers hurt.
Well, I understand. They were poking your... I have a very different impression of what goes on in the hospital, I guess. Well, anyways, let's get into this. We got a bunch of stuff to go through, and a Happy New Year to everyone, by the way.
Yeah.
The first release we had was... appropriately named Dicks, Elite 8 Studios Book 1 by Emmy Sanders, narrated by our own Nick J. Russo. That is the most appropriate title I've ever seen in my life. Next, we had...
The First Noel, Bobby and Paolo's Holiday Stories Book 3 by Joe Constantino, narrated by Brian Cheney,
I think. Next, we had an audio sample that I did because Lissa asked me to. Here we go on this one. Kick back and enjoy. Hello! Hey, it's John Solo. I know you just heard me there, but now you hear me here. I am promoting a Christmas Wedding Obedience, a BDSM series book written by Annie Moon. Annie is a new author to us, but we have quite a few more coming up here. And in fact, this particular book... it is a standalone, but it's actually part of a series, and it's actually the end of a series. It's kind of the wrap-up deal. But I don't think you need to read the rest of the series to get it. And here is the blurb. In The Christmas Wedding, the last week is finally upon Kane and Luca. Renovations on their new home are complete, and the sprawling estate with flowering rose gardens and hundreds of Christmas poinsettia has been transformed into a holiday wedding wonderland. On the rooftop of the barn, spotlights cast high-intensity rays that crisscross over a gigantic inflatable sleigh with Dirty Santa written across, setting the theme for the bachelor's party. Charlie, from Halloween Matchmaking for Daddy fame, plans kinky holiday hijinks and surprises, both naughty and nice. All seems to be flowing smoothly as planned, until it's not. Amid the chaos of Kane and Luca's best men feuding with each other, and Kane admitting that he might have made a huge mistake, Luca loses sight of what his wedding is really about. That is, until Marco reminds him that he has an adoring master waiting to marry him, with a heart overflowing with love, and a promise to give Luca his forever and always happily ever after. So, what could Luca possibly still have on his Christmas list to Santa? Christmas Wedding is a MMM novella in the Obedience series with age gap, holiday magic, kinky Santa hijinks, BDSM elements, low angst, and a swoony love conquers all happily ever after. Enjoy. See, that seems like a book you would like. I think you would be into it. And there's lots of dicks, so... The next we had was Wyatt's Forbidden Mate, Umbra Pack Chronicles Book 2, written by Blake R. Wolfe. I still can't get over it. Like, his last name is Wolf, and he's writing about wolves, but narrated by David Lane. Next,
He
we
might be
had...
writing about other things. You never know.
Right, and Dicks. Wolves and Dicks.
Okay. Deck the Fire Halls by N.R. Walker, narrated by Glenn Lloyd.
You can't be offended by Dicks. I mean, you
I'm
can't.
not.
Okay, I'm just making, because you passed by it pretty quick there, my joke. It was all about the Dicks. Isn't that a song? Goes all about the Dicks,
No.
Dicks. No. The Enoch trilogy by Kim Fielding, narrated by Joel Leslie. Next, we had...
I needed coffee.
I understand. And Dicks.
Nuts and Bolts Holiday. A Foggy Basin short story by B.L. Maxwell, narrated by Guy Ferriser.
Nice. I wonder what the nuts and bolts stand for. Next, we had Heart Me Up, a Bent Oak, Texas novel by Bix Barrow, narrated by Declan Winters. Then we had...
The Demons of Witchwood?
Sure.
That's what I'm going for. By Isabel Starling, narrated by Cornell Collins.
Then we had Rogue, Jericho's Boys Book 2 by Onley James, narrated by Liam DeCosmo. Then we had...
The Witch's Grumpy Dragon. Brinswick Tales of Guahala? Book 1 by Michelle Naturo, narrated by Michael Leslie.
Nice. Then we had Fool Me Once, an MM Gay for You age gap holiday romance, Betting on Love by Jennifer O'Malley, narrated by Nicholas Clark. That's a hell of a cover we got going on there. Then we had...
Moody's Grumpy Holiday, MM Grumpy Sunshine Romance by Lane Hayes, narrated by Kurt Graves.
Then we had The Holiday Fail, a Wingman to Lovers MM romance, Doves of Destiny Book 3. Speaking of dicks, by Rye Cox, narrated by Zachary Zaba. Then we had...
The Brooklyn Boys Collection by E. Davies, narrated by Nick J. Russo.
Then we had 3, Angels of Wrath, Book 3 by Paulina Ian Kane, narrated by Michael Vlula and Declan Winters. And I believe that was the last release of this week.
Yes, it was.
Excellent. So, our new year has started off right with dicks and cocks and all that good stuff. Little Alyssa's back at home. She apparently does not like to sleep with her father, and we've learned all these things today. Brought to you by...
The letter D.
for
I don't know.
Yeah, brought to you by Cox.
It sounded right.
Exactly. We love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you next week for yet another edition of Dicks. Have fun. Bye. Ta-da!